study focused on insider trading as a form of market misconduct in Malaysia's capital market. The scenario involved a research analyst who leaked upcoming stock rating upgrades to selected clients before the information is publicly released. This allows certain investors to gain unfair trading advantage while others remain unaware. Such conduct violates the principle of fairness, transparency, and equal access to information and undermines confidence in the securities market.
Referring to this slide titled How the Act Constitutes Insider Trading, Scenario 5. The scenario involves a financial analyst who leaks an upcoming stock rating upgrade to selected client before it is publicly released. Firstly, under Section 183 of the CMSA 2007, the stock rating upgrade qualifies as a future and price-sensitive information. This type of information can influence investor behavior and affect share price once disclosed. Even though the rating has not yet been announced, it is protected under the law. This interpretation is supported by the case of Securities Commission Malaysia versus Toh Kaifat. In this case, the court held that non-public, future-oriented information amounted to inside information, reinforcing the principle that such information must not be misused. Next, under Section 188 Subsection 1, the analyst is considered an insider because he possesses non-public information that would have a material effect on the price of the securities and knows that the information has not yet been made public. Under Section 188 Subsection 2 Subsection A, if the analyst of the selected client switch securities after receiving this information, the act of trading by imposition of inside information constitutes insider trading. Furthermore, Section 188 Subsection 3 prohibits stripping. By sharing the confidentiality upgrade with selected client, knowing they are likely to trade based on it, the analyst breaches this provision and creates unfairness in the market. Consequently, under Section 188 Subsection 4, the analyst may face serious penalties including imprisonment up to 10 years and minimum fine of 1 million as well as potential civil action. The Toh Kaifat case demonstrates the strict enforcement of insider trading law to protect market integrity in Malaysia.
Responsibilities of licensed analysts under Malaysia's securities law. Licensed research analysts play an important role in Malaysia's capital market because their investment opinion influence investor decision. Therefore, securities law imposes strict responsibility on analysts to protect investors and maintain market integrity. There are 5 responsibilities of licensed analysts under Malaysia's securities law. First is duty to maintain confidentiality of material non-public information. Licensed analysts must not disclose or misuse price-sensitive information such as upcoming stock rating upgrades before it is publicly released, as this may constitute insider trading under the Capital Market and Services Act 2007. Second is obligation to avoid selective disclosure. Analysts must ensure research report and recommendation are released fairly and simultaneously to all investors and not shared with selected clients only. Third, duty to act with integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. Research must be independent, unbiased, and based on proper analysis without being influenced by personal gain or external pressure. Fourth, responsibility to manage and disclose conflict of interest. Analysts must disclose any personal interest, relationship, or incentive that may affect their research recommendation. Fifth, compliance with internal control and SE regulation. Analysts must follow Securities Commission Malaysia rules and internal compliance policy, as failure to comply may result in fine, suspension, or license revocation. In conclusion, these responsibilities are essential to ensuring fairness, transparency, and confidence in Malaysia's capital market.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Khadija Omera and I will proceed the next slide, which is to highlight the ethical implication of selecting disclosure and explain why is it considered unethical of financial market. For the first one is selecting disclosure create unfair information advantage. When the certain investor receive important information early than others, it violates the principle of the fairness and equal access to information. For the example case in SEC versus DraftKings. Secondly, if selective disclosure undermine market integrity, early access to sensitive information can lead to abnormal price movements and market efficiency. which are lower confident in the fair pricing. For example, case is SEC versus AT&T. Third one is undermine investor trust. When the research analysis treats some investor better than others, investors begin to questioning whether the research is fair and trustworthy. The last but not least, a selective disclosure is unethical because it gives a special treat to the certain investor, which is unfair and goes against a professional ethical standards. For the example case is Security Commission Malaysia versus Sri Santan Elitambi.
In this section, we will discuss the key compliance framework that guide investment research division to ensure ethical and fair practices. First, analyst independence is crucial. Analysts must remain impartial and avoid any conflict of interest with other departments like investment banking or sales. Next, pre-publication review is conducted. Compliance officers check research report before release to ensure they only use public information and prevent insider trading. Restricted and watch lists help control research on sensitive companies. Analysts cannot report or make investment decisions on companies in the restricted list, which prevent misuse of confidential information. Personal account dealing or PAD rules require analysts to get a pre-approval for traders, follow breakouts, and disclose holdings. This ensures they don't trade using insider information. Finally, ethics training is important. Regular training sessions help analysts understand regulation, ethical behavior, and the consequences of non-compliance. Together, this framework ensures that investment research is conducted fairly, ethically, and compliance with regulatory requirements.
Alright, I'll continue for the enforcement options that are available in the Securities Commission. One of the options is criminal enforcement action, which the SC can take criminal action against individuals involved in insider trading under Section 183, 188, and 201. Next, the SC have an option to do the civil enforcement action, which the SC may take civil action by imposing penalties, requiring offenders to return illegal profits, or compensating investors under Section 200. Other than that, the options available for SC is the SC can take administrative enforcement actions such as warnings, fines, or license suspension to quickly stop misconduct. Last but not least, the options for SC is settlement or compounding of offences. The SC may allow offenders to settle by paying a compound fine, helping resolve cases faster. For the conclusion, insider trading by research analysts is a serious offense under Malaysian securities law. Sharing confidential stored information before public release is illegal and against market rules. It also breaks ethical standards in the capital market. Insider trading by a research analyst is a serious violation of securities law in Malaysia. Other than that, the Securities Commission Malaysia plays an important role in handling such misconduct. Actions can include criminal, civil, and administrative enforcement. Strong regulation is needed to maintain a fair, trustworthy capital market. Last is, for the recommendation, investment firms should strengthen internal controls such as Chinese walls to separate research, trading, and sales departments. This will prevent confidential information from being leaked. Other than that, companies should provide continuous training to analysts about insider trading laws and ethical responsibilities. This helps them understand what is legal and what is not. Furthermore, firms should monitor analysts' communications and unusual trading activities. This helps detect insider trading early before serious damage occurs. And last but not least, the Securities Commission in Malaysia should continue strict enforcement and inspections. Strong penalties act as a deterrent and remind market participants to follow the law. So that's all from me. Thank you.